Welcome to the Icelandic Formula Offroad. Now we're going to go over the 4th, 5th and 6th track. The first round in Hella double race weekend. First round on a Saturday, second round on a Sunday. And like always, the Icelandic people welcome the motorsports summer. Hella is one of the most historic races on the calendar, the first Formula Offroad event being held in 1973. But the purpose is still the same. The event is a local fundraiser for the search and rescue team down in Hella, South Iceland. Here are the standings after the morning track. Skúli leads Þormar Haukuviðar is 3rd and Jón Reynir 4th, Sigurður equal in 5th. We're going to jump straight into the action. All final 3 tracks of the day were time attacks, and unlike regular track, these are timed. 350 points for the fastest time, and you lose 1 point for every 10th of a second. -10 for touching a marker, and there's no penalties for reversing other than the time loss, of course. Now we have Yippee Sigurður Ingi. It's always bad to need to go first in a time attack because you won't have any tracks to follow, and therefore it's hard to see where to go. But Sigurður pushing Yippee here. We go over the little creek, and now the flag. Next up, Geir Evert Grímsson, the sledgehammer, and time attacks are Geir Evert's speciality. He needs a good time here. He was only 7th before the track. Needs to reverse there. No penalty points for that. Just lost time. And now getting up the hill. Slows pretty much down there. It's not gunning for it, at least, not so far. But here we have all the might of the sledgehammer. Back down he goes. The active rear suspension, the independent one, is actually working really well here. And that's 47.69. Fjölnir Guðmundsson here driving Ava. This really hasn't been his day. There's been some engine management issues, and looks like things are not working out well here. Managed to get up at the second try though, and he did finish. The worst score you can get for finishing a time attack is 150 points, so it is crucial to finish even though it's slow. Now we have Ingi Már Björnsson, the bomb. His first time attack for 23 years. Very aggressive through the jumps. Full throttle here, up through the gate at the top. Now back down. Pretty fast so far. Decides not to pick on the same tracks. Now through the creek. Will he be faster than his predecessors? Next up we have Svanur Tómasson. He's driving insane. Svanur is the oldest competitor this year, but doesn't always show. However, sometimes old men need maps, and he didn't have that, so he didn't finish the time attack after getting lost. Now, this is his son, Árni Svansson, driving the Storm. There's a new Hellcat, a supercharged V8. And this car used to run a 4-cylinder turbocharged Honda engine. And the Storm is actually showing a lot of horsepower wherever it goes now. Down through the creek. 51.31, not a fast time, but finishes nonetheless. Now, if you want a lesson in how to drive these trucks quickly, look no further than Ólafur Bragi Jónsson in the Fox. So much speed here from Ólafur Bragi. Demolishes the competition, 41.15. Gets 10 penalty points, and now it's so, when you're this quick, you get so many penalty points on all your competitors because they are all matched with the fastest time of the day. Here we have Skúli Kristason The reigning champion has been leading the race up to this point. But there are troubles there, and that's the supercharger belt that has come off. It's a problem we saw a lot of in 2019 and 2020. And the engine, it goes into save mode with no power, and that is very costly. It's going to drop Skúli from 1st to 7th. Þórður Atli Guðnýjason in the spade. He keeps getting quicker. And 240 for him. Here we have Ingvar Jónesson driving the Viking. He's had steering issues during the day, but doesn't seem to be plaguing him too badly here. 243 points for him. Now, big news, Þór Þormar was supposed to be the next car, but it ain't finished after the fixing isn't finished after the roll in track number 3. So Haukur Viðar Einarsson takes to the time attack with 1100 horsepower in Hekla. Haukur is having a bit of trouble handling all that power, which doesn't give him a great time. Now we have Jón Reynir Andrésson driving Thunderbolt. The rookie found out after the race that he cracked a few ribs in a rollover in track number 1. He felt the pain and took it easy in the time attacks. He drops from 4th to 8th. Now Þór Þormar managed to make it late, so he missed his starting point. If you miss your starting slot, you only get 50% of the points that you score in the track. That's not good news for 2018 and 2019 champion. This drops from 2nd to 4th in this run. Thor is sharing the Raptor with Finnur Abjörnsson. Maybe it's just too much having two of the wildest Formula Off-Road drivers in the same car. And well, we probably could have told you that before the weekend. Here we have Sævar Benónýsson driving Móri, a new driver in a new car. Big role in track number 2, means that he missed track 3. But finishes here in the time attack, but only with 85 points. So the standings after 4 tracks. Haukur Viðar takes the lead, Sigurður Ingi 2nd, Geirivert 3rd, Þór Þormar 4th, and Ólafur Bragi 5th. Now, track number 5, another time attack. We saw Ólafur Bragi move up the list in the last time attack. Can he do it here again? But this is Fjölnir Guðmarsson driving Eva. This one is even longer and even more demanding. Pretty slow there through the grass into the loose sand here. Fjölnir not really driving fast here. He started competing in 2017. Came in with this car last year. Got a couple of top 5 finishes. However, he has never contested a full season. That might change this year. Not really giving it all here, Fjölnir. Here we have the famous U-turn. The slope makes it really hard. And we've seen quite a few rolls there. When drivers push for the limit. And again, through the slope. And there we go. 1 minute 9 seconds for Fjölnir. Now Ingi Már Björnsson driving the bomb. He bought the car of Ásmundur Ingjaldsson, returning after 23 years as a 1997 world champion, and is looking good here. He's really coming into his own in the time attacks here. Ingi seems to be pretty comfortable in the car already. Having some nice lines, and he managed to do the track. 55.84, that's 334 points. Svanur Tómasson here driving insane. Time attack's never been his strong suit. Likes the steep hills better. One best in show here for his incredible jump in track number 1, but only gets 130 points here. Now Þór Þormar Pálsson driving the Raptor. Finnur Abjörnsson broke the front diff in track number 3, and the spare diff has a completely different ratio to the rear diff, so the car is almost undrivable and is putting a lot of strain on the transmission. But Þór Þormar is not chilling. 337 points for him. Aron Ingi Svansson now driving the Storm. 310 points for him. Guðmundur Eliasson, the rodeo. Not the start he would have wanted with his car so far. 59 seconds for him. That's 281 points. Now, Ola Bragi Jonsson, the Fox, he climbed up to 5th with an amazing drive in track number 4, but he's getting lost here. Loses the car a little bit, but no way, Ólafur Bragi, he rolls it there. And that is his last chance of a podium gone. Let's see that the speed is so much. He's a time attack specialist. Doesn't manage to get it turned, so he's going to turn the other way, but just goes in too hot when the slope. Well, gravity wins. If you roll the car in the time attack, you're not allowed to continue. That's simply for security reasons. A bent roll kit and another roll would not be okay. Now Skúli Kristjánsson driving Simba. He lost the lead, so he really has nothing to lose here, but everything to gain. Smoking a bit. Oh, big jump there. Nicely done from Skúli. Looked like a rally driver there. Just to get it turned here. Managed to do so nicely. Through a jump. Oh, that's a big hit. Skúli stops the car immediately. He felt a lot of pain in his back and decides not to continue. Fortunately, nothing was broken though, and Skúli was back the next day but had to retire from the event. So no championship points for Skúli on day 1. Now Þórður Atli Guðnason steadily climbing the ranks here, now 7th, only 150 points off the lead with a 288 point run here. Ingvar Jónesson driving the Viking. Steering issues, not really what you want in these time attacks. So slow time for him. Now Haukur Viðar Einarsson. Great chance for him here to extend his lead he got from Skúli and Þór. Haukur is still getting used to that insane new engine though. With nitrous, it's said to be producing just over 1,700 horsepower, but now it's only 1,118. Gets thrown around there a lot. Is he lost? No, managed to get through the gate, but this is hurting his time a lot. And Haukur is probably losing the lead here. This is Sævar Benónýsson driving Móri. It's always nice to see a different build. This one kinda reminding us of the cannons, but look at that front wheel. The damage from track 2 seems to be causing trouble again. It's a lot more camber than you want. Yep, everything completely broken there on the front axle, on the front right. Really managed to repair it in time for the final track of the day. Here we have Jón Reynir Andrésson driving Thunderbolt. Jón was the team leader in BU Racing Team, but now he's taken over the driving duties. He was running as high as 4th, but time attacks have not been too kind to the rookie. Can he change it here in the 5th track of the day? No, he can't. Only 150 points. Here we have Sigurður Ingi Sigurðsson driving Yippee. He has a chance of snatching a podium with a solid drive here. So far, it's looking pretty good. Needs to get it turned here. Touch the marker there, so that's some penalty points, but he's looking pretty quick. A lot of speed here through the slope. And a lot of speed down the slope. And that's a nice drive. That's going to push him up to 3rd. Gerivert Grímsson driving the Sledgehammer. Like I said earlier, the time attacks are his speciality. And this is looking really good. The Sledgehammer also seems to have a pretty low center of gravity, which is going to help during these time attacks. And that gives him 340 points, the fastest time of the day. Only 10 penalty points for touching a marker. Now, after 5 tracks, Geir Evert is in the lead. Þór Þormar 2nd, Sigurður Ingi 3rd, and Haukur Viðar falls down to 4th. Ingi Már up to 5th. Now, it's time for the most legendary track in Formula Offroad, the River. This is Þór Þormar Pálsson driving the Raptor. But the strain on the transmission was so much in track number 5 that the team had to change it, losing power here. won't be able to drive on top of the water, so that time will always be bad. And usually the drivers were also driving up against the stream, so the final part of the track is a lot harder than it has been. Thor doesn't take any chances, knowing he's down on power and won't be able to aquaplane, so he skips finishing the track. Only 150 points. Here we have Aron Ingi Svansson drive the storm. A lot of rain over the winter and a lot of snow has made the river, well, the river simply just is a lot higher. There's a lot more water in it than we usually see during this time of year, and that seems to have killed. Oh, continues going, but doesn't manage to finish. That's a wet way to finish the day. Only 50 points for Aron Ingi. The search and rescue, they know what to do. Now Guðmundur Leósson, he can end a pretty horrible day on a high by finishing this track, which he does not do. 25 points for Guðmundur Leósson. Now we have Ólafur Bragi Jónsson driving the Fox. He lost his chance of a possible win with his roll in track number 5, but so far it's looking good. Could catch a few drivers if he managed to finish this track on a high. And he's the first one to try the second part. This is up against the stream. Ólafur Bragi, full throttle, managed to get it floating there. Will he manage to get all the way? Yes, he will. Fantastic stuff from Ólafur Bragi. The crowd love this. This is Þórður Atli Guðnason driving the spade. He got his his best result of his rookie season in the last round last year, 3rd place. It was hard to sleep before this event, as he was witnessing the birth of his daughter just hours before the race. And will he make it up the river and back home? Looks like his front left doesn't have any air in it. Look at that, there's a puncture on the front left, but he's managing to aquaplane it all the way over, and that means that he's taking the lead here. 314 points. Now Ingvar Jóhannesson driving the Viking. Got his first and only podium in Hafnarfjörður back in 2020. That's not the right way to cross a river. Goes for the second part though. Gets it floating, but that's not good. That's not good. Managed to get it going back though. Gets over. Nicely done. Looked like it was completely out of his hand there, but that's only 140 points. Now Haukur Viðar Einarsson. With old Þormar out of the picture, Haukur can really put the pressure on Sigurður Ingi with a strong time here, and he has all the power in the world. Fast here through the first part. Let's see if he will use the nitrous here. Doesn't even need it. Full throttle up against the stream, and that is some fantastic floating from Haukur. Haukur through, and that's him taking the lead. No penalty points. 350 points, fastest time of the day. Will that be enough? Jón Reynir Andersson here driving Thunderbolt. Funnily, this car has never really been good at aquaplaning over the years, as you can see here. Now let's see, he gets a bit of a run here before the big drive through, well, up the stream, up the river. It's like a salmon in spring, going back to spawn, deep in the river. However, Jón Reynir is a stubborn man. He wants those 150 points for finishing rather than only getting 50 or 75. That's exactly what he's doing here. I'm not sure if the car, the engine or his service crew like what he's doing right now, but he gets it through. 150 points for finishing. Now Sigurður Ingi Sigurðsson driving Yippee. For the first time in his career he has a chance to take the win. He needs a pretty solid time here, which would be around 30 seconds, and then he will beat Haukur, who has the lead now. Nicely done so far. Or what? Oh, gets thrown up there in the air. The banking is getting tough, and that's all his chances of victory gone. But he needs to finish just to get his first ever podium. Will he do that? Looking good so far. Embarked down there. But what is that? He got pushed to the side and is stuck now on the bank of the river. He reverses back into the river, but it's getting pretty shallow there. He's not getting going. He's stuck, and that means that Sigurður has to settle for 5th. Just finishing would have caught him a podium. Disaster for the Yippee team. Now, Geir-Evert Grimsson driving the sledgehammer. He needs a time of 32 seconds or faster to win this first round. Haukur Viðar sitting somewhere watching. Now look at the banking. It was tough for the next one, and this is the same for Sigurður. He hits the banking hard, and that's a broken steering arm. He doesn't even finish in the top 5. Let's get a replay from inside. And that means that Haukur Viðar is securing victory here on the first day of the season in his newly upgraded Hekla. Now 2 cars left, Fjölnir Guðmundsson. The day just doesn't seem to get any better for Fjölnir. Tries to aquaplane here over the second part, but gets stuck in the river. The engine shut off. He managed to restart the big block Chevy and finally showed us what he can do when everything is working perfectly. Nicely done there, but only 150 points after all that time lost. Now Ingi Már Björnsson, after all that drama, Ingi actually has a chance of a podium here with a good time. He's been pretty solid in the time attacks. Second part of the river, needs to watch out for that bank there. Does that nicely, gets through. Now the big float has to aquaplane upstream against the river. Decides to take a very interesting line though. But here we go, full throttle. Will he manage to float it all the way? Looking good so far, a bit of bouncing. That could have hurt, but managed to get it under control. Waving to the crowd as he finishes and gets up onto the podium. Podium on the return after 23 years. And there we have it, the winner, Haukur Viðar Hekla, showing us all what she is capable of. Þórður Atli second, and Ingi Már a close third there. Þór Þormar in 4th, and Sigurður Ingi in 5th. Now that's all for now. Make sure not to miss the next shows, where we will follow the action from the second round at Hella and follow the full Formula Offroad season this year. See you next time.